At a quiet diner just outside Phoenix, Arizona, 72-year-old Harold sat at his usual table by the window. Same order, same smile. He had just finished half his sandwich when the waitress approached and asked softly, "Still having trouble with your knees, Harold?" He chuckled and replied, "Yep, my legs feel like bricks today." She paused, then said something that stuck with him. "Maybe it's what you're eating, not just your age." That night, Harold couldn't stop thinking about it. Could the food he'd eaten for years be the reason he could barely walk without pain? What he discovered next changed his daily habits and gave him back the strength he thought he had lost for good. Before we dive into Harold's story, and the 5 everyday foods that might be quietly weakening your legs too, we'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Drop your city or country in the comments. We love seeing how far the Senior Healthwise family reaches. And if you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a chance to stay stronger, longer, and wiser. Let's get into it, because some of the most damaging foods for your legs might be sitting in your kitchen right now. 1. Refined sugar, the sweet saboteur of your legs. Refined sugar is often seen as a guilty pleasure, a spoonful in your coffee, a cookie after dinner, or a piece of pie on a Sunday afternoon. But what if that sweetness is slowly taking away your strength? As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to blood sugar spikes. When you consume refined sugar, the kind found in white sugar, syrups, candies, pastries, and sweetened drinks, it rapidly enters your bloodstream. That quick spike forces your body to release insulin. But in aging bodies, this response becomes sluggish. Over time, this leads to chronic inflammation, one of the root causes of muscle weakness, joint stiffness, and poor circulation. Inflammation damages the very tissues your legs rely on: muscles, tendons, and even nerves. It narrows blood vessels, limiting the oxygen and nutrients that reach your legs. And without proper nourishment, your muscles lose energy and strength. That's when simple tasks like walking the grocery aisle or rising from a chair become surprisingly difficult. Let me tell you about Judith, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Illinois. Every morning, she started her day with 2 cups of sweetened tea and a slice of toast with jelly. It seemed harmless, even comforting. But over time, she began noticing that her legs ached by mid-morning. Her ankles were swelling, and climbing the stairs to her bedroom felt like a workout. After speaking with her doctor and watching videos like this, she realized her sugar intake was higher than she thought. She replaced her morning tea with lemon water and switched to a high-fiber breakfast. Within weeks, the swelling subsided and her energy returned, and for the first time in years, she was able to enjoy a full walk around the park without stopping. Refined sugar hides in more places than we realize. Breakfast cereals, ketchup, salad dressings, even healthy granola bars. That's why it's important to start reading labels and making mindful swaps. Instead of sugary snacks, try a small handful of almonds, plain yogurt with berries, or a slice of apple with natural peanut butter. For drinks, trade sweet tea or soda for infused water or unsweetened herbal teas. The goal isn't to eliminate sweetness forever. It's to choose versions that support your health, not sabotage it. Because once you begin to reduce refined sugar, your body rewards you with less pain, more energy, and stronger, steadier legs beneath you. 2. Fried foods, crispy, crunchy, and crippling. There's something comforting about fried food. That golden crispiness, that familiar taste from childhood meals. Fried chicken, French fries, onion rings, even just a piece of fish with a crunchy coating. But as we age, the very foods that once brought joy might now be silently working against our legs. Fried foods are typically cooked in oils that are high in trans fats or repeatedly reheated. These oils trigger inflammation throughout the body, especially in the joints and muscles. The more often we eat them, the more our immune system stays on high alert, which leads to chronic inflammation, the kind that doesn't go away and gradually wears down your mobility. The damage isn't just internal. These foods also contribute to poor circulation by increasing levels of LDL, bad, cholesterol, and promoting arterial stiffness. And where does that show up first? Often in the legs, with symptoms like swelling in the calves, a heavy dragging sensation when walking, or stiffness in the knees after sitting. What's worse, fried foods are often high in sodium and carbohydrates, which can make you retain fluid. That excess fluid collects in the lower extremities, making shoes tighter, ankles puffier, and movement more uncomfortable. The good news? You don't have to give up flavor or texture. You just need better cooking methods. Try baking, grilling, or air frying instead. Want crispy potatoes? Toss them in olive oil and bake until golden. Craving crunch? Coat your chicken in crushed nuts or oats and roast it in the oven. These simple swaps keep the taste, but drop the inflammation. Some people believe that switching to an air fryer automatically makes everything healthy. While it's a step in the right direction, it's still important to pay attention to what you're cooking and how often. If you're still air frying heavily processed frozen foods, like breaded chicken nuggets, tater tots, or packaged snacks, the salt, additives, and oils inside those foods can still contribute to inflammation and water retention. The method matters, but the ingredients matter even more. Choose whole, fresh foods when possible, even in an air fryer, to get the full benefit. Every meal is a choice, and choosing to skip the fryer can mean lighter steps, less swelling, and legs that feel more like they used to. Aging doesn't mean giving up what you love. It means learning how to love it smarter. 3. Processed meats. The salty slowdown. Processed meats, like deli slices, bacon, sausages, or hot dogs, have long been staples in quick lunches and easy breakfasts. They're convenient, flavorful, and often marketed as high-protein options. But for aging bodies, they may come with a cost, one that quietly erodes leg strength, flexibility, and balance. These meats are often loaded with sodium, preservatives, and chemical additives like nitrates and nitrites. While these help preserve shelf life, they can also trigger chronic low-grade inflammation, particularly in joints and muscle tissues. Over time, this inflammation reduces muscle efficiency, increases stiffness, and contributes to slower recovery from simple activities like walking or standing. Even worse, the high sodium content can lead to fluid retention, especially in the legs. Seniors may notice swollen feet, tight calves, or a heavy leg feeling that gets worse by afternoon. For those with heart conditions, the effects are even more pronounced, adding strain to circulation and worsening fatigue. Let me tell you about Harold, a 71-year-old retired postman from Minnesota. For over a decade, his go-to lunch was a ham and cheese sandwich on white bread. It was quick, familiar, and he never thought twice about it. But in recent years, Harold started noticing that his legs would swell by late afternoon. He couldn't make it around the grocery store without needing to sit down. His doctor ruled out major issues, but suggested a closer look at his diet. After watching a video like this, Harold made 2 small changes. He swapped deli meat for grilled chicken and traded white bread for whole grain. Within a month, the swelling eased. 2 months later, he was walking a mile a day again. No breaks needed. If processed meats are part of your routine, consider switching to lean, unprocessed proteins like grilled chicken, turkey breast, salmon, or even plant-based options like lentils and beans. These give you the protein your muscles need, without the extra salt and chemical load. Your legs don't just need movement, they need the right fuel, and sometimes the best step towards strength is simply leaving the lunch meat behind. 4. High-sodium foods. The silent sweller, salt is essential in the right amount. But in today's diet, most people consume far more sodium than they realize. And for seniors, that excess salt often settles in the legs. Foods high in sodium, such as canned soups, frozen meals, packaged snacks, pickles, and even healthy-looking sauces, can cause your body to retain water. This fluid buildup doesn't spread evenly. Instead, it tends to pool in the lower parts of the body, especially the feet, ankles, and calves. Over time, this creates that familiar swelling, tightness, and discomfort many older adults live with daily. But water retention isn't just uncomfortable. It also affects how your muscles and joints work. When tissues swell, circulation is reduced, and your muscles receive less oxygen and nutrients. That means even simple movements, like standing from a chair or walking to the mailbox, can start to feel exhausting. Over time, your body begins to compensate for the imbalance, leading to stiffness, decreased flexibility, and even joint pain. The bigger danger is that salt hides in plain sight. One serving of canned soup can contain more than half your daily sodium limit, and that's without adding a single pinch at the table. Even low-fat or healthy snacks can be loaded with salt to make up for lost flavor. So, what can you do? Start with awareness. Read nutrition labels. Aim to keep your sodium intake under 1,500 mg per day, unless otherwise directed by your doctor. Cook fresh when possible, and season your meals with herbs, garlic, lemon juice, or salt-free spice blends instead of reaching for the shaker. For canned goods or packaged foods, choose low sodium or no salt added versions. Rinse canned beans and vegetables under water before cooking. This simple step can remove up to 40% of the added salt. Many older adults living alone fall into the habit of relying on canned soups or microwave meals because they're easy and require no cleanup. While understandable, this daily convenience could be costing them their mobility. In fact, studies have shown that seniors who consume high-sodium meals regularly are more likely to experience leg fatigue, swelling, and balance issues. One easy shift is batch cooking at home. Preparing a large pot of homemade soup using fresh vegetables and herbs, then freezing it in small portions. This way, you keep the convenience but ditch the salt overload. Your legs carry you through life. Don't weigh them down with something as avoidable as excess salt. A few small changes in your kitchen could mean a big difference in how freely you move through each day. 5. Refined carbs, the energy trap. White bread, pasta, crackers, and plain rice. They're easy to eat, easy to digest, and comforting. But these refined carbohydrates may also be silently draining the strength from your legs. Unlike whole grains, refined carbs are stripped of their natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What's left is a fast-burning starch that spikes your blood sugar, then drops it, hard. These blood sugar swings leave your muscles feeling fatigued, shaky, and underfueled, especially during everyday movements like walking, standing, or climbing stairs. But the damage doesn't stop there. Refined carbs contribute to chronic low-grade inflammation, especially in joints. They also promote fluid retention, meaning your legs may feel stiff in the morning, swollen in the afternoon, and sore by evening. Over time, that cycle becomes more noticeable, more frustrating, and more limiting. Take Marie, for example. At 74, she prided herself on eating light dinners, often just a small bowl of pasta with butter or a slice of white toast and jam. But she couldn't understand why her legs felt so heavy in the morning, or why she needed to hold onto the banister just to get up the stairs. After learning about the effects of refined carbs, she made one small change, switching from white pasta to quinoa and roasted vegetables. Within weeks, the morning stiffness eased. By month 2, she was back to her morning walks. No handrail required. If refined carbs are part of your daily diet, don't worry. You don't need to cut them out completely. Just start making smarter swaps. Instead of white bread, try whole grain. Swap white rice for brown rice, quinoa, or farro. Replace crackers with sliced cucumbers or carrots and hummus. These choices won't just help your legs, they'll help your energy, balance, and overall well-being. Your muscles need real fuel, not just quick-burning starch. When you choose foods that digest slowly and nourish deeply, your body responds with strength you can feel, one step at a time. Your legs have carried you through so much, through decades of hard work, family milestones, quiet mornings, and lively gatherings. They've walked miles, climbed stairs, and helped you rise to every occasion. But now, they're asking for a little help in return. Today, you learned about 5 everyday foods that could be quietly undermining your strength. Refined sugar, fried foods, processed meats, salty packaged products, and refined carbohydrates. These foods may seem harmless, even comforting, but over time, they chip away at your energy, your balance, and your independence. The good news is, you don't need a complicated plan or a complete diet overhaul. You just need to begin. With awareness, with one smart swap, with one better choice today than you made yesterday. Because every small change adds up. Cutting sugar in your tea, swapping your sandwich meat, choosing whole grains instead of white bread. These aren't just food decisions. They're investments in your future strength, stability, and confidence. Your legs aren't giving up on you. They're waiting for you to give them what they need, the right fuel, the right care, and the freedom to move without pain or hesitation. So, what will you change this week? Have you been eating any of the 5 foods we talked about? Which swap are you willing to try first? We'd love to hear your story in the comments below. And if this video helped you, please consider subscribing to Senior Health-Wise for weekly tips on staying strong, mobile, and independent at every stage of life. Until next time, take care of your legs. They've carried your story this far. Let's make sure they carry you even further. Your legs don't just get you from place to place. They give you freedom. The freedom to go shopping on your own, to dance at your granddaughter's wedding, to take a sunset stroll without holding on to someone's arm. Protecting them means protecting your independence, and that's worth every mindful bite.